Ой, привет, it's Horror and Citizen Sleeper 2. Starward Vector. Click to start. New game. Update. Available in Game Pass, guys. Thank you, Microsoft, for my Game Pass. Safe. Risky. Difficulty. Difficulty can be changed at any time. Risky. Legion price free. What is Legion price? Endurance, interface, what? Skills. Push. Rally. Who is cooler? Who is cooler? -1 stress on focused die position outcome. Ah, it seems I played this game earlier. It's a dice game. Да, ты играл? In the moment before waking the dark space before concussion through, you struggle to find the piece of yourself. Usually this piece comes with a particular cadence, each appearing sequentially, like the boot process of an old terminal. First, your body, artificial, compromised, but relaying sense data all the same. Then it contacts the breeze or fire filtration, the soft contact you birth 0G. Then emotion coming into focus, coming into your body, bringing with that first insult, the one that has framed your past 100 cycles fear. But that familiar seconds doesn't arrive. Instead, you are unmoored in space, your body distance, your context silent, even your emotions somehow abstracted and scattered. Among all disarray, only one familiar thing arrives, the fear. It's scrambled, panicked fear, the drowning fear, the falling fear, the fear that makes you reach desperately for any stable point. It's the fear that tells you something is wrong, something is very wrong with you. Алмазик был. Wake up, sleeper! The voice is whisper in your eye. In act that makes you suddenly aware of your head pulsing in pain, your body rigid with tension. I didn't play the first part. Resident Reader. Sleeper, a familiar name, a mind copied, emulated, a body built, implanted, one person sleeping until their depth is walked away, their double being made to walk, to be consumed, and eventually to be destroyed. A proxy and emulation, a sleeper that is that you are. Resident Sleeper. Guys, just a second, I will check the previous interface without Diamond. А, про тебя. Я думал в игре. But you escape. You remember that now broke free of your corporate creators. Ascent are in search of a future. You cannot remember you details of your escape, but you know the fear has been with you ever since. All of a sudden you remember you have eyes and your eyes flicked open. Pale eyes in pale face. Lane. The name comes with own specific sensation of fear. One you recoil from instructivity. Sorry to interrupt, a sharp smirk, but this ends here. It's only about reading? You search your mind for more than a name. It's how you reward me for my generosity? Lane leaning over your horizontal floating body, looking down into your eye. I took you in, protected you, gave you a purpose. You try to look away to the corner of your vision to find something you understand. Your body doesn't respond, but I suppose that wasn't enough. He reached into the pocket of his jacket and retrieves a small wheel. This wasn't enough. The wheel glitters, this object you know and have known for a long time. Stabilizer, the drug that keeps your artificial body, your emulated mind from inevitable decay. The only balm you plant obsolescence. What? Obsolescence. Obsolescence? Opso. What is this word? Obsolescence? Guys, do you know this word? Обсоленсенсе. Устаревание. Getting old. Obsolescence. The liquid rolling in the wheel fill you with disgust. Lane pockets the wheel, but it won't be wasted on you now. After what you have done to this body of yours, he look at you with a palpable disgust. Lane eyes scan your body, and as they do, you become aware of the wires and tubes attached to you, those that were meant to free you from your dependence, from the stabilize and control of Grant's Lane. They are free, you piece of shit. They don't need you anymore. The voice comes from somewhere behind Lane's head. It's a voice you know, but when you search your mind to try to understand why, you find only dizzying darkness. Shut him up, Lane barks the command, and you hear the sound of impact of pain from elsewhere in the room. You try to move your limbs again, and this time you feel a flicker, the twitch of a finger. You feel the extension and compression of synthetic muscle. It's only text or what? Or we will play this game? Free are you? Lane smirks. You were free when I disabled your tracker, when I gave you the stabilizer you need. He scans your body with angry eye. Now you aren't free, you are just broken. I had such big plans for you, Sleeper. I invested in you. Lane grips your arm's head and you feel a jolt of reaction. You will arm to move, but you have ruined all that. Gameplay has started. Lane speaks louder over the sound of the struggle behind him. I will try to preserve your body, of course. I have my own use for it. But your emulation, you feel one of these hands searching behind your head. He finds and grips the thick cable running into the port of the base of your skull. I will burn that out. Lane jerks forward, slamming across your body, then spinning away out of sight. You feel yourself rolling the cable plugged into your, looping and wrapping around your limbs. Then you feel hands studying you, pulling cables. You glance around wildly and see someone diligently unplugging you. You meet his eyes. You mystery saver. Hey, he waves a hand on your dazed face. We need to move. Lane won't be out long. He unloops a cable from around your wrist. Sleeper, help me out here. You blink slowly. Do you know this person? He leans over you and you feel his hand on the connector, flicking switch at releasing lock. Come on, come on, come on. He tugs the connector clear and pulls you up. You see the room you are in for the first time, fill it with stage and terminals. I wake everywhere and lit by big window looking out on an impossibly bright screen, feel its screen beyond. In the corner, you see the dark shape of floating body surrounded by glittering constellation of crimson baubles. Is it blood? Move your wrestle and shove towards the door, which slides open in front of you, and you are out. All that brightness, all that movement, gliding hard towards some unknown destination. You come to a stop in dark alley. The one who guided you here, passing to catch his breath, he doubled over beside a massive life support until that sent a like warm breeze across your skin. I understand why this game is Citizen Sleeper. You stare. Is it visual novel or is it a game? You stare at him, trying to recall anything about him. You notice his tattered jacket, his lightwear clothes. You remember the station runs hot. Something about the power and flows through the place. He look up and meets your eye. What is this emote? I don't know. Foxic did it. What's going on, sleeper? He wipes sweat from his forehead, and it floats away in a swarm of spikes. Talk to me. Who are you? Who was that? Where are we? How are you? You see the concerned frown cross his face. Don't mess with me, sleeper. That's not funny. He comes close, eyeing you carefully. What station are we on? He narrowed his eyes. Wait for the answer. You close your eye, trying to recall. You force your way through the dark to the image of the station. No, a city growing on the back of the vast set of hexagonal solar cells, shadowed by them. You open your eyes. Dark side. The word leaves your mouth like an exhale, an instinct. Before you had yourself sound it out, you didn't know it was there. He sighed and... He sighed. And me? Who am I? You see something like fear in his eyes, panicking perhaps. You stare hard at his face. He slight upturn of his mouth. He intensively of his stare. Nothing comes. He closes his eyes and drops his head, putting a hand to his temple. The reboot. He is speaking quietly to himself. Lane interrupts the process and he lifts his head and stares at you. We need to keep going. We need to leave. He turns and kicks off down the alley. Come on, the rig can be far. As you lead through the passages and ways of the station, you try to recall your life here. Guys, there is no gameplay in this game? Really no game? It's just a visual novel? The texture temperature of Dark Side feels familiar, but you struggle to pin specific memories to it. Focusing hard, you recall waking up these passages cycle after cycle, the reef of the station flowing over you along with the crown. You recall desperation and the slow decay of your body that caused it in. Then line, those pillars. Oh, glittering well stabilized. It's not even RPG dice Cyberpunk, so it's when will be gameplay? I understand this is visual novel, blah 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 blah, but they use specifically the hardest words ever. The promise of supplying more for your work, a deal he locked you into like a cage. There's your memory fails you, but in the dark beyond, the moment there is sight of panic or fear remains. You were lying prisoner, laying planning, you shudder in the cold passage. Wait, Your guide holds up hands, and you stop your guide using the wall. Ahead, you see the tunnel opens up into a wide open bay with a few doors leading to cylindrical tunnels. The docks. They are watching the rig. The nods towards the dock, and you see one of doors has a couple of figures flanking in, one covered in ornament tattoo, the other with bright silver implants along their cheekbones. Utsubo! Lane guys, he looks at you and shakes his head in frustration. All this, it's not coming back to you, isn't it? Something catches your eye and you see is playing with the coin, nervously turning it over and over in his finger. He sees you looking and slip it away. He places a hand on his chest. I'm Seraphim, alright? He look painted when he speaks. Lane, he was our capture. Both of us. We did this so we could escape. We needed to reboot you, to break your dependence on stabilizer. He pauses. You know what is this, right? You nod meekly. Average horror viewer cannot even read. Average horror viewer cannot even read. But Lane interrupted me back there. The reboot didn't complete, and he sighed and shakes his head. We can still make this work. He looks back at the dock. I'll lead them away. You get the docking bridge open. If we make it to the rig, I know how to get us in. Got that? We search your face for the site of recognition. I've got it. What is the rig? I've got it. Get that door open. He pats on the shoulder. I know you can do this. Seraphim flicks off hard and glides into the dock. Over her shut head. He bellows to the guard as they barrel through. They immediately push off the wall, giving a chase. Guys, what is the dice gameplay in the game? Active, complete, no active drivers. Finally, gameplay. During scenes you may encounter skill checks, where you can perform certain actions using your skills. Like the dice action you will encounter later, skill checks can have a positive, neutral or negative outcome. The better the rating of your skills, the more likely you will succeed on a check. The odds of success will displayed when you select the check. You can see more into the guide section of the pause menu. А может первая часть раньше была? Hack the door. 25 positive, 50 neutral. Or break a seal, engineer. 50-50, positive or neutral. Of course it's better. Positive outcome. You wait a brief, then glance. You shift to the central access panel and wrench it open. It only takes a moment to understand the mechanism, and you reach in the snap the locking ASIC, the door popping up with a hiss. Go, go! Seraphim files past you. Through the doorway, into the docking tunnel. You turn to see the two guards approaching fast across the dock, and quickly glide after Seraphim. Seraphim is already at the rig door, inputting an entry code. The rig door scissors open, and you both rush inside. Quickly, Seraphim grabs you by the arm and drags you up to the cockpit. The ship slid out, hazy in your mind. He dumps you in a flight
I don't like you.
Juby Joe is here to doubt. Bro, thank you for €1. You can unlike me all your life. Just donate me more and more my shiny euros. Shiny euros. You see him in the series of buttons if he goes, taking himself. Come on. The rig drive rumbles into the life, and Seraphim slams into the bottom of console. You feel the force of the ship acceleration as it pulls away. We saved. As the ship glides, what? As the ship glides into the space of connection bridge, it automatically system knows the port docking protocol. You feel a sense of relief. Seraphim burned hard on dark side. You drop it and out consecutive in your seat as the rig made way across the belt. But now, with open space between you and Lane, you feel fresher, more awake. Seraphim breaks the silence. We are good sleeper. His eyes don't leave the monitor, and you realize this part of your escape is routine for him. You and him must have docked this ship countless times in your walk for Lane. The problem is you don't remember any of them. We made it, he whispers, closing his eyes. We certainly did. He turns and you see the painted look on his face, as if remembering something difficult. Can you say this exact thing to him before? It's the same situation. Are you okay? He looks at you, chewing one side of his lip, searching your face. Not really, he puffs. Chewing one side of his lips? Seraphim reaches up, flickering through a set of switches. Okay, I will skip it all until we see some gameplay, cause it's only 3 minutes left. Tutorial. Sorry, I already don't have time to this game. But tutorial is only now. If I would read it all, it will take me additional 20 minutes only to come to tutorial. So 40 minutes before tutorial. Welcome to Citizen Sleeper 2 Starward Vector. The game runs in cycles, during which you can perform actions with your dice, use cryo to buy food, fuel, supplies and items, progress clocks towards next scene and event. You can review tutorial at any time in the guide section. Actually, I played the game like this. Hex point of exchange, the rig, you refuse the belt. It was tutorial or what? You can quickly visit and leave the rig, right click. Tutorial, the rig is your ship. This clock is a cycle clock. It will progress toward an event each cycle. Its completion will trigger an event. Citizen, you perform actions by assigning actions dice to them. The higher the dice you assign, the more likely you will succeed in action. Left location and continue to skip. But your dice will be modified by your skills. Your skills modified for the action is displayed on the right and will reduce or increase the value of the dice assigned to the action. Like skill check, the dice action has 3 outcomes: positive, negative and neutral. Each action is also rated safe, risky and dangerous based on the outcome it has. The more dangerous this action is, more dangerous significantly both its rewards and consequences are. For more information on a dice action, check the guide. Okay, tell me at least how to play anything. Risky, dangerous, engineer. Trading scrap is about identifying materials and cleaning up components. It's an engineer job more than a trader. Risky. Okay, let's place, I don't know, 5. Four. %100% positive? 50%. Let's roll. Let's roll the dice. 50 positive, 50 neutral. Positive outcome. Easy. Tutorial, you just progress a clock. Clock tracks you progress towards the both positive and negative. Ah, we can put it here again? $50 позитив, 50% нейтрал. Еще и бородку. Ни хера у меня не растет, чтобы бородку еще расти. Game is 88, very positive. I think enough. I give it you some information about this game. I give it you main plot about this game. I told you that this game available in Game Pass. I think I did my job perfectly.